All right. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to meet. I promise I won't take too much of your time or anything, but my name is Catherine with Local 3.
Nice to meet you, Catherine.
Perfect. And so you kind of know the drill. I'll take your first and last name, please, your title, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Congresswoman of Georgia's 14th District.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And so I know we've had some online chatter with the big, beautiful bill. I would love to just start off by hearing from your side, kind of what happened, and then now to where we are.
Well, what happened in regards to what? What part of it?
The overlooking of the AI, and then your tweet
Okay.
saying, you opposed everything,
Yep.
didn't read over that part, that kind of
hmm
situation.
hmm Yeah, so the getting the bill text, we got it within a 72-hour window before voting on the bill. The bill is, I don't know the exact page numbers, but I think it's over 1,100 pages. And our focus for this bill has been tax policy, energy, and border security. And those were the sections I definitely focused in on, where we just had a short time before we voted on the bill. And talking among all of my colleagues, hearing members of Congress that were against the bill because of talking about Medicaid cuts, or other Republican colleagues like those in New York that were fighting for state and local taxes. No one in my conference and any of our working groups, any of the chairs of committees brought up one particular section that happened to be on page 248 and 249 that said that no state can make a law or regulation on AI for 10 years. And it's a very small section. And I wish they had brought it up. I wish that I had seen that one section in the over 1,100 pages of the bill, because I find that to be extremely problematic. And that's why I was willing to be humble and come out and say, look, I missed this in the bill, but I think it's very important that we all talk about this, because we should never be destroying federalism. We should never be taking away states' rights to make regulations and make their own laws. And I think that's such an incredible thing that we should talk about, and it needs to be raised. And so I really appreciate you asking me about it today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've obviously gotten some online chatter from different people. How are you responding to some of that criticism that you are experiencing and getting from people?
Sure. Well, I guess there's a lot of perfect people out there that never make a mistake, or maybe they're just people that are never willing to be honest and humble enough to say, hey, look, I overlooked this, or I missed it, or I maybe made a mistake. And that's who I am. And I think if people want representatives that are absolutely perfect and never willing to tell the American people where they may have made a mistake, then good luck to having a representative like that. And that's not who I am. I'm always willing to say, here's where I messed up. Here's where I went wrong. Here's where I missed something. But I think the issue is not about Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't read one small section on page 248 out of 1,100 pages. I think that the issue that if people are so smart, they should care about the fact that we should not be passing a law that takes away state rights to regulate or make laws on AI for 10 years, because we don't know what AI is going to develop into. We've watched AI develop rapidly, and it's become very useful tools. But what will AI become in the future? What will it be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now? And we need to make sure that we protect every single state and their right to be able to make laws and regulate an industry that will have a massive impact on the people in their states, the companies in their states, and our entire country, and I'll argue our entire world. And so I'm willing to be very honest with everyone, is, hey, if I had known about that, and apparently no other Republican knew about it either, because no one brought it up. But I'm willing to come out and say, I find this to be a problem, and it's such a problem that it needs to be removed, hopefully in the Senate. And I have heard that should be happening.
Mhm. And with you being able to express your concerns about the AI and basically what this opposes, what message are you trying to send to lawmakers and to just in general the public?
Yeah, it's we have to take this very seriously. And I think it's extremely important to make this a very critical conversation instead of something that sounds petty, like she didn't read one section in a bill. I'm taking it so serious that I'm saying, hey, we need to talk about this. And the reason why we need to talk about it is we don't know what the future is. And we know China is rapidly developing their AI technology. And of course, American tech companies need to be able to compete with China. However, taking away our state's ability to regulate and make laws is absolutely ridiculous. That destroys what our country was founded on, federalism. And here's something important to point out. Every single state in the country competes with other states to bring jobs and industries into their states. As a matter of fact, governors are ranked on how many jobs they create in their home states. And so there'll be many states that become very AI friendly, that have very low regulations, have very loose laws, because they'll be wanting to bring those companies in that AI industry into their states. So by protecting federalism and protecting states and their rights to regulate and make laws on not only AI, but any industry in the United States of America, this is extremely important because it's not going to hamper AI and tech companies. It will create an environment where they can truly compete with China.
And going through the rest of the bill, is there any other part or section that brings you any concern or anything, or is it just this AI section?
Well, we have to talk about what the bill does. The tax law is expiring this year. And if the tax law expires and we don't renew it, it will raise taxes by over $4.7 trillion on Americans. So by making the tax law permanent and adding in other many great things like no tax on tips, no tax on overtimes, and a big tax break for seniors, also for American families, these are such important things that I support. Also putting America's energy first, and also investing in our border security, which was one of the top priorities and issues for the American people in the campaign in 2024. Those are the things that I'm focused on funding, and that's why I support this bill. And I'll be very honest with you. Do I love every part of this bill? No, I don't. And I especially am opposed to this very dangerous part, hurting state rights. And I also don't like the price tag. I chair the DOGE subcommittee, and I would love to be cutting as much spending as possible. So I don't love the price tag, but I can tell you, I think there are many important things to support in this bill, except destroying federalism.
Now I just kind of want to hand it over to you. Is there anything else that you want to say or mention? Anything that I didn't ask you already?
No, I do appreciate you. I appreciate you asking that question, but I think the focus, instead of people's cattiness or criticism, it needs to be, hey, you guys, I'm really trying to raise an issue, and I am messaging against my own party on this, and I think it's such an important issue to raise that I'm doing this, and I hope that people take it seriously, because we always need to be watchful, especially when any type of new technology that is going to radically change all of our lives. AI is going to radically change everyone's lives. It's going to replace many people's jobs. Speaking to you, they're saying it's even going to replace many people in the media industry. So I think it's incredibly important for us to focus on, hey, we need to allow states to be able to regulate and make laws and protect what our country is founded on, and that's federalism. So thanks for asking that final question.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me.
You bet. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.